I can honestly say I've never used an Exploud in any playthrough of any game I've ever played, mostly because it sucked, but I also didn't really like its design, which is the main reason you should use any Pokemon, to be honest. However, I am a fan of its new Redux design and is something I would consider using on a team. But should you? Is it a viable option in Elite Redux, and have there been enough changes to the regular Exploud to make it great? Exploud has always had sound as part of its gimmick, and the Redux form is no different. However, it doesn't retain the normal typing and instead is given a very rare type combination of Electric Ghost, giving it 2 immunities, 5 resistances, while having only 3 weaknesses. Its stats are pretty even for the most part, except for the exceptional HP stat of 134. With both defenses above 100, it definitely has some solid bulk. You cannot sleep on its power though. Its base power isn't very high, but some of its moves it gets, paired with its abilities, make it a monster. Starting with one of its 2 signature abilities, it gets Radio Jam. Radio Jam will let any sound-based move that Redux Exploud uses inflict disable. This is great for revenge situations. If Exploud is faster, it can disable the move before being hit. It's also a good way of stopping enemy Pokemon from using their best move back to back. And if they have a choice item, will most likely force a switch. Its other signature ability is Noise Cancel, which protect the entire party from sound-based moves. So just having it in the party prevents the use of powerful Boom Burst or Hyper Voices from being used. Now, I was not able to get this to work, so as of 2.1, it doesn't work. But that's how it should work in practice. The last ability you can choose for it is Lightning Rod, which draws electric moves to it and raises its special attack by 1 if hit. Great for certain switch-in situations, but mainly for double battles. Adding to the sound-based theme, it gets the innate ability Amplifier. This adds 30% to all sound-based moves, making them that much harder to deal with. Boom Burst is by far the most effective move. It's also a stab move for it because of Galvanize, and it also increases its power. The other stab, sound-based move it gets, with its very unique mechanic, is Ghastly Echo. Ghastly Echo is a move that forces the user to switch, much like a U-turn or a parting shot, and will boost the attack of the next Pokemon that comes in by 50%. I like this a lot, especially because of how bulky it is. It allows it to not only do really solid damage, but get a free switch in if it's slower. The Pokemon coming in has a fantastic opportunity to retaliate and can possibly turn things around if things are looking bad. Redux Exploud also gets static, so there's always a 30% chance a physical attacker will get paralyzed, and the odds are higher since it will take a few hits to take it out most likely. Exploud is actually a pretty decent Redux form, and not a lot of Pokemon can handle many big hits from it. One thing that really annoys me though, and it's kinda dumb, is that it doesn't get access to Protect, which basically every Pokemon gets, and it's bad because Protect would make it way better in my opinion. Safely getting the foe to use a move, and if it's faster, hit it with a sound-based move, and disable the move it was most likely going to use again. Even without Protect, it's a great Pokemon you can get rather early on. The base Exploud has less bulk and focuses much more on power, and it's really good at it. Just looking at its stats shows you what it wants to do. Everything is below 90 except its HP, which is the same as the Redux, and 131 in special attack, which is the same as Xerneas and Yveltal. However, this power is just the surface. To see what's really going to hurt you, let's look at these abilities. The main one you're going to want to run in most situations is Punk Rock, boosting all of its sound moves by 30% while reducing damage from sound moves by 50%. So in a 1v1, OG Exploud will beat the Redux form. It's not done powering up its sound moves yet because its innate amplifier is boosting them by another 30%. Exploud gets all kinds of great coverage moves like Surf, Fire Blast, Blizzard, and Solar Beam, but let's be real, the only thing you want to run and spam is Stab Boom Burst. Whether you Scarf it to outspeed or use Specs to destroy more things, it's going to be the most effective option. Why do you think Norman's Exploud only has Boom Burst? 4 times. Don't think you can just throw a ghost in front of it either because it has Scrappy, so that ghost will die. Again, surviving a Boom Burst from it does not mean you're in the clear. The Loud Bang innate grants a 50% chance to confuse on all sound-based moves. The likelihood of any Pokemon surviving 2 Boom Burst is low, but after getting hit in confusion, there's little hope. Exploud is really just a mindless Pokemon to use. It does take a while to get Boom Burst on it, so throughout a playthrough it's not as broken, but for a special attacker with solid HP and only 1 weakness, it's not a bad Pokemon to have around. If I was going to pick which Exploud I thought was better, I'd have to give a slight edge to the OG only because its move pool is much deeper and ground types shut down the Redux's Boom Burst, whereas the OG has nothing like that. Although any Pokemon with Soundproof or Throat Chop will shut them both down. What do you think about OG and Redux Exploud, and would you use either of them? If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe as a new video drops each week. Shout out to the members, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.